Hello, happy Monday. Welcome back to your weekly dose of real estate reality. My name is Jackie Baker. I am a local real estate agent up here in Northern New Jersey. Thank you for being here. If this is your first time, welcome. I so appreciate you being here. And for those of you who are returning, thank you for being here. It means so much. I love having you guys here every week, and it's just so much fun. So, let's see, the topic of the week: should you buy or should you wait? Should you be buying a house in 23, or are we going to hold off to 24? So that's the topic of the evening. And I brought back this week, I'm so excited, Mr. Greg Wareham from, here we go, Your Mortgage Process. Hi, Greg.
Hey, Jackie. Hi, everybody. Good to see you again.
Yeah, it's so good to have you back. Thank you for being here. This
Thanks
is
for having
awesome. I so appreciate it. So, oh my God, this market. Like,
It's something else.
I can't. So everyone is just, what do we do? What the heck do we do? So my experience in the past week, especially this past weekend, and I posted it on Instagram over the weekend too, that it was just insanity. I went to an open house in Montclair. Tracy, I know you're on. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. Montclair is just out of control. I'm just saying that right now. So there's a bidding war on that house. I showed on Saturday, revolving door, people coming and going. And then yesterday, Sunday, I was up here in Bergen County, went to 2 open houses. And one of the open houses, the agent said they had about 200 people. 200 people. And here's the thing, the rates have gone up, but yet they're still out. The people are still out. It just blows my mind. I mean, Greg, what do you make of this?
Well, I mean, we had a short-term reduction in interest rates after the last time the Fed met.
Right.
I think that happened right last time after I was on your show, maybe that following week.
Yeah. Yes.
So what happened is when the Federal Reserve increased interest rates by 0.25%, which is what all the markets were projecting was going to happen, and then Chairman Powell at the end said they're going to start to reduce the increases through the rest of the year. Oh, the markets go crazy. Stock market does great. Bond market starts to rebound. And we saw interest rates drop into the high fives for the first time in quite some time.
Right.
Within 72 hours, the whole theme of the market changed and rates started going back up again. So now we're starting to itch back closer to that 7% range.
Why? Why did it go back up?
Well, I could give you my opinion on it. The only news that came out after the Fed report was an updated inflation report saying inflation was up 0.5% higher than they were hoping. Markets didn't like that. The concern is that the Fed will go back to increasing interest rates at a big clip, and that's forcing interest rates back up. But after 25 years of doing it, I've never seen a 1-year time frame that's had this level of volatility.
Yeah.
It's been since this time last year from an interest rate standpoint, and nothing's changed, right? So it's not like companies started posting losses or profits, or nothing changed from the Fed meeting. So it just feels as though it's just an emotional reaction in the markets, and it should settle down over the course of time and calmer heads should prevail.
I hope so. Because I know they were saying that rates should be back they were saying by the mid fives, by the spring even.
Yeah.
So when that happened, when the rates went up, I'm like, what's going on? And then everybody's out still looking to purchase a home.
Right.
and people don't care. They're throwing offers at it. So it's just, I don't get it. I just don't. I'm beyond frustrated. It's like, here we are, year 3 into this again. But I don't know. So what do you think? I mean, I told my clients yesterday, this is my opinion on this. Should you be buying a house in 23? Well, it all depends. If you are in a position where you're ready to do it, and this is definitely your long-term, this is going to be your long-term home, right? I would get in it. If you find something now, jump on it, because I think the prices are only going to increase from here. And especially if those interest rates come back down in the spring, it's going to get worse. With bidding wars. So that's what I tell them. And I try not to, I don't like to scare them. Like, I'm not trying to freak you out, but this is the pattern. This is what happens. This is what we've seen in the past couple of years. So as people that are new coming into the market don't understand how that how that all jives. You're like, "Oh, the rates are down." I'm like, "Yeah, but," you know, like,
Right.
mm. So, yeah. So, what do you think? Like, do you think that's,
Y-
um, you agree
Yeah,
with
you
that?
know what, Jack? Yeah, I have a tendency, maybe it's the nature of financial analytical guy. So I follow the numbers on it.
Right.
And when I look at appreciations in property values over the past 22 years, right? Go back to 2000. The market's up about 4.5% every year since that time. Year
Mhm.
over year, 4.5%. Then I look at the rental market and I go, the rental market during that same time frame, rents are up 6% over that time frame. When you look at the past 2 years, market values are up about 32%. Rents are up 32% as well. So I think as long as it's not a short-term investment for somebody,
Right.
then now's as good a time as any to buy. There's still limited inventory, 4 million unit housing shortage in this country, and I just don't see it changing anytime soon.
I don't
I
either.
think we're going to have the same demand for a while.
I agree. The video I did last week was about, what's gonna make homes affordable. It's more homes.
So, so,
We have to increase the inventory. And in that video, I talked about how the National Association of Home Builders went to Congress and said, "You got to fix this. You got to help us fix this because the rising cost of the materials and also the struggles that they have with the regulations, right, at the
mhm,
local level and the federal level, um, it's very costly for them to make homes.
right,
So, and there's such a shortage in labor, so that's another problem.
right.
Um, but I don't know. Can the government fix it? I don't know. I don't do
I know they're trying to. They're really starting to try to incent the towns to build multifamily properties.
right,
So that's been a big push, making it easier to do multiple two families and three family properties because a lot of towns you really can't do that. And they're trying to make it more.
right.
I don't like to say incent them. They're more trying to not punish them for not doing it.
Yeah,
So they're really trying to create more housing in that fashion.
exactly. So that's right. Is you need the incentives. So Johnny, what do we have? Do we have any comments here? I see Tracy's chiming in. Hi, Tracy. I missed you, Tracy. The emotional reaction in the market is causing a tremendous amount of stress for home buyers. And what Jackie's saying about long-term home is absolutely correct. Thank you, Tracy. Yes, that's what I tell everybody. You got to be in this for the long haul. This is not like, oh, I'm going to buy this in maybe 5 years. I'll move up to something else. Like this is going to be a commitment. It has to be a commitment, or otherwise you're not gonna make that money back. That's my feeling. But that's interesting about the comparing the rates, the increase in the prices versus the rent.
So I get some good math for everybody. I hope
Yeah,
it's good math.
it is
All
good
right.
math because
All
think
right. So,
about it. You're gonna throw all that money out on rent, that
so to put it into perspective long term, if you bought a house and held it for 10 years
right.
and say you paid 500,000 for it, you put down 20%. I know a lot of our markets can be a lot higher than that, but
Yeah.
the ratios all work. So if you borrow 400,000 and the rates in the high sixes today,
Hmm.
when you look at your principal, your interest, your taxes, and your insurance, can give you a payment of about $3,400 a month,
Right.
depending on exact taxes and insurance. I budgeted for about 9,000 a year in taxes.
Okay.
So over a 10-year time frame, by making your minimum payment, you'll reduce the principal that you owe from that 400,000 down to 285,000. So you pick up 115,000 in equity.
Right.
In addition to that, over the 10 years, if the values of properties increase at the same historical rate of 4.5% year over year, that $500,000 house will be worth $775,000 10 years from now. So
Yep.
now you start getting into math that like these are big numbers. Now you're
Yeah.
390,000 over that 10-year time frame. If your rent, and the average rent in New Jersey right now is $2,800 a month. And if the rent's increasing at 6%, if those numbers stay true, 10 years from now, your rent will be $5,000 a month.
Hmm.
So it just like the math just supports buying a home, and then you put the tax deductions and everything that like that on top of it.
Yep.
I think it's harder to be a renter right now than a prospective home buyer.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I agree. Yeah, the rents are outrageous here. Um, it's but that makes sense, and I love that you put it in those. easy terms, right? So, breaking down how much equity you have. So like I shared with you on your podcast, we bought our house in 2012. We paid 710 for it. And
Mhm.
now it's, oh my God. It's like 10 years later, it's worth a lot of money.
Right.
So that's what people don't understand. Like, I've said to you that sometimes the millennials I think are still in shock from what happened in 2008. They might have saw their parents go through financial troubles, or, God forbid they lost their homes or whatever. And I'm like, but that's like an anomaly, like
Yeah.
this is what's supposed to happen when you own real estate, you're just building equity. So,
And
anyway,
it's so interesting, Jackie. I'm sorry to interrupt. It's
no, go ahead.
so when you look, people think values have went up a lot in the past few years, which they have, right? They've went up 32% in the past 2 years, called 40% in the past 3 years. The time frame between 2000 and 2006, prices doubled. They went up 100% during that time frame.
Oh my God. That's right.
Right? You remember that. So
Yes,
they
that.
doubled then, and people forget that. We're like on this run where, hey, values are up, 30, 40% in the past 5 or 6 years.
Mhm.
They were up 100% at the beginning of
That's
the
right.
number.
That's right. And back then, when we were just in our house, when that was all going on, we bought our house in 98. So, we're like 7 years, whatever, almost 8 years. And I remember we were thinking, oh, let's sell our house. We can it was worth double. You're
Right.
right. It was worth double what we paid. And we're like, oh, but then we're going to pay more. So we decided to stay put. And then the crash happened. But because we bought, in 1998, way before, we still walked away with a lot of equity when we
Right.
sold it in 2012. But yeah, that's interesting.
Because when you look at the graph for it from like 2000 up till now, right? You
Yeah.
all you have 2000, and then you have that dip in
Yep.
2006, 2007. It's never happened before. It'll probably never happen again. Then it
Yep.
goes up. But if you were to plot it like this way, it's right in line with where it should be. Maybe it's a little bit higher, a percentage higher than you would expect, but it's not like prices have gotten so out of control relative
Mhm.
to the historical average anyway.
Right. Right. Okay. All right, Johnny, what else we got? I see people chiming in. Hello, AJ. Welcome. Thanks for being here. I work for a building supply company here in New Jersey. Manufacturers and vendors are raising prices 4 to 5 times a year, making the cost of building a new home or wow. That now why are they raising it so high? That's my question. What's the point of that? If you can answer that for me, that'll be amazing. Um, So what else we got? Tracy. Yes, Tracy, he has excellent math. I find that my buyers who are steering clear of the fear mongering and really doing Greg's math are making stronger decisions and actually getting accepted offers in this market.
Good
Thank you.
point.
Yay. And good on you, Tracy, because you're educating those buyers too. So I give you a lot of credit because you're giving them the facts, and you like what we're supposed to be doing, steering them all away from the nonsense that's out there. But it is fearful for them because of what they're seeing. They're seeing hundreds of people walk into an open house, and they're like, "Oh my god, am I?" And the first, now the one I went to on Saturday in Montclair, you know, my client's ready to go. She wants to buy, but she doesn't want to overpay. So that's stuck in her head that she's going to overpay. And no matter what you say, like, look, believe me, the value is going to go up. You're not over, but this is what it's worth in this market, right? But it's hard to kind of convince people because there's that thing in the back of their head that's saying this market could crash.
Right.
And even I could stand on my head and and say it's not going to crash, but there's still that little stigma there that they think it's going to crash. I don't know. I mean, when you talk to potential clients or any of your clients, Greg, do you find that people are still fearful of that?
Yeah, I mean, nobody wants to overpay for anything.
Right.
Like, I don't want to overpay for stuff at the grocery store, a car, or a house. Like, I get it, but I always look at it like overpay relative to what, right? Okay, you're
Mm.
not overpaying relative to the market because people are willing to pay more than you. So
Mhm.
relative to the demand, you're not overpaying for anything, and you're only going to experience a loss if you sell it. And that's the kind of that paradigm. Like people understand in the stock market that you see this, but
Yep.
long term, the stock market's always going to go up. For
Yep.
some reason in real estate, it's not the same paradigm. Everyone thinks they can kind of time it, and I'm overpaying now. But the answer is you have to be in the market to get the appreciation, and you only experience the loss if you're actually selling the house. I think it's hard if you're someone who's looking to be in a house for 2 years right now and make money out of it. I think
Oh
that's a
yeah.
long shot.
That's just not a smart move at all. So that's, well, I shouldn't say not a smart move, but then like unless you're a flipper, right? You buy
Mhm.
something on the cheap and then you turn around, you update and flip it. Um, but I don't know, even then, because I'm seeing some houses that are coming on the market that were flips, and some of those have been sitting out there. So
Right.
I don't know. I think that's a risk too. So anyway, but what else we got, Johnny? Oh, AJ, you answered my question. They claim the cost of raw materials and supply chain issues. We're still doing supply chain issues. Like we're still talking about that. Is that really still an issue? I don't know. Is that what?
Who knows? All the supplies are in the balloon.
Yeah, and they were shot down. So
Right.
yeah. Oh my
I don't know.
god.
It's like you can't fix this. It just seems kind of ridiculous, right?
Yes.
It really does.
Yes. Oh, Tracy, you're right. They don't want to overpay and are concerned about appraisals, but I don't see appraisals becoming an issue yet. Greg, are you having any issues with that?
We haven't had them ever since this market started to change and appreciate. We really, maybe when it first started to happen back in 2020 and early 21, there were some appraisal issues, but I
Yes.
can't really say that we've seen them.
Not since then. Definitely not since then. I have not. As a matter of fact, the house we just closed on Friday. That house actually overappraised. It was overvalue over I was like, ooh, walking in with equity. I love that. So yeah,
And you
that
know what? I
that
would
never
say too,
happened.
a lot of it's about the conversation that you have up front with people because so if a property under appraises and you're putting down a significant amount of money,
Yeah.
well, it doesn't really change anything. It only changes the percentage of the value of the property that you're borrowing. So
Right.
if you were putting down 30% and under appraises, maybe now you're only putting down 20%, but you're borrowing the same exact amount of money and you have the exact same payment. It can only impact people if they end up borrowing over 80% of the value of the property.
Yep.
And now they may be in a situation where they're paying for PMI on the loan, so borrowing 90%.
Hmm. Right.
So,
So I have a question for you about
yeah.
that. So say somebody bids 50, they go 50,000 over asking price, right? And they're putting 20% down.
Mhm.
Now, what if that home under appraised, like even below, say the list price is 500, they're offering 550, and
Mhm.
then it appraises at say 480, but you're putting
Mhm.
20% down.
Mhm.
This this is where I get all messed up. Does PMI still come into effect at that point? Like, is
So
there a gap? I mean,
yes.
is that enough to keep it from having to
Well,
make
so
up the gap? Or
let's say they were putting down 20% originally, and they're putting down 20% on 550,000.
right?
So 550,000, 20% means they're borrowing 440,000.
Okay,
Now let's say that property appraises for the original 500,000.
okay,
Now they're still doing a $440,000 loan amount.
right.
So because they only want to have that initial 20% they're putting into it, or in our example, it's 110,000.
Yep,
So now you take that 440,000 divided by the lower value because the bank only lends on the lower of the appraised value of the purchase price, and it means they end up borrowing 88% of the value of the property as opposed to 80% of the value of the property.
got you.
The
Okay,
net money doesn't change, and that's always the important part. And having the conversation with the folks looking to buy up front is your money out of pocket doesn't change. The only thing that'll change is PMI. And if you have really good credit, the cost of PMI right now on a conventional mortgage, it's not that high.
okay,
So, as an example, and in that example, it may increase your payment $80 a month if you were to borrow 88% of the value of the property.
got you. Or they can turn around and make up they can cover up that they can make up the difference, they
Yes,
make up the gap, right, with cash if they're
exactly.
putting more money down. Yep. Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you. What else we got? Tracy. Tracy's like my number one fan. I love you, Tracy. Tracy, you just sold a flip. Got the inspection report back today. Oh boy, lots of shoddy work there. I hate seeing that. Do you ever see Greg, are you on TikTok at all? I don't know if you're on TikTok. It's like, do you ever go
A
on
little bit.
there? Okay. So there's a guy on TikTok. He goes by Inspector AJ. He is so flippin' funny. He goes and he does videos, like he'll show things that he finds on his home inspections. Oh my God. Like he'll go into homes that were flipped, or even some new construction that you would not believe the things that this guy finds. Like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's so if you ever get on TikTok, check
I
out
will say to
Inspector AJ.
Tracy's point, I see more of that now than we did a year ago.
What's that? The
Where if it's a flip,
yeah.
like there's more inspection issues than you would historically see in a flip.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're trying to make up time, cut corners. I don't know what it is, but
They're cutting corners, I think, because it is so expensive. Like I sold a new construction last year. It was a rebuild. It was new construction on existing foundation. And when they told me what it ended up costing them, like, oh my God. It was so much from the first project they did was in 2020. And then was it 2020 or 2019? Just 2019, 20. It was like the end of 2019, I think. And then to this in 22, the costs were just astronomical of all the materials. So like AJ was saying here, I mean, it's supply chain, you know. That's what it's,
damn balloon.
that's it, supply chain again. I know you're my number one fan, Tracy. I got to come to Montclair and we got to have lunch. We got to go like hang out. But Tracy, Montclair, I feel like that's like we talk about that town every flipping week. I was there like I said, showing a property. Oh my God. Oh my God. So what I posted on Instagram, I put on my story, and of course I do location Montclair. I had two real estate agents like private message me, and they're like, you have no idea how bad it is here. It's so hard to get a house. And somebody said like 80% of the market in Montclair is just exactly that. Just, people galore and bidding wars and all that stuff. So yeah, I feel for you, Tracy, because I know that's your market. I don't know how you're dealing with that. I don't know. Couldn't do it anyway, but I do. I have to now. I'm submitting an offer for this client of mine. It's the same in Glen Ridge. Glen Ridge. I don't know, Greg, if you're familiar with like that area in Essex County.
Nice area.
Glen
Yeah.
Ridge is beautiful.
Yeah.
I love Glen Ridge.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, Tracy, lots of therapy. Yeah, lots of therapy. That's what gets us through. Anyway, but so I guess overall, like when you're looking at you got to look at the math, right? Like you just had excellent math for us before, Greg. Like comparing rent to making to your mortgage payments.
Mhm.
What's
It's
better?
it's just the math. Oh, it just always works.
Yeah.
Maybe the parts that this is why wealthy people all own real estate because they know the math works. So
Yeah,
they're always buying real estate.
that's right.
If
That's
you're
right.
going to hold it, you're not going to lose.
Yep. No, it's so true. But if the numbers work, that's what we said. When we bought our investment properties, the numbers work, then we get it. It always it will always appreciate. And I say this every week when I come on here every week and I do my weekly videos. I'm here about talk. I share the facts, and I'm speaking from personal experience of what I'm seeing. And I will never put information out there on my channel just to get views, just to get hundreds of thousands of views, because there are a lot of creators out there that are doing that right now. And I'm not that person. I'm not doing it. So, okay. We have here, somebody just commented, what states are you in? We're in New Jersey. I'm actually in North New Jersey. Greg is we're going to say South Jersey.
I'm in central New Jersey.
Central South. You know what? We never finished that debate. So, okay. So Tracy, you could chime in on this one too. So there's a central Jersey. So, but where does South Jersey begin? Right? Now Monmouth County is considered central, right? Isn't that what you say?
I think it's Southern New Jersey. My wife would call it Central New Jersey.
I say it's Southern New Jersey. It's
I
the
say
beginning.
once you get over the bridge,
Yeah,
I think you're on the shore area and you're in South Jersey.
absolutely, absolutely. But it's some people like your wife say it's Central Jersey. Like, no, it's the beginning of the shore.
Right.
It's the beginning of South Jersey. But I'm not saying there is no Central Jersey. There definitely is. But it's so funny how there's always been that debate. Like north, central, south, and the central people feel left out, that there's only North and South Jersey. And then you got Taylor ham and pork roll. And I
Right.
mean,
Now my
what,
wife goes with Taylor ham.
oh, really?
Always Taylor ham. Tracy, she's right on that too. It's Taylor ham. I roll with it.
Yeah. Yep.
What do I know? I'm from Massachusetts originally.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I just go with the flow.
Yeah. Well, now you're in Jersey. You got to go play by the Jersey rules, and this is how it goes. So, but okay, good. I'm glad we solved that debate. So, Monmouth County, and anybody else agrees or disagrees, let me know here. But Monmouth County is South Jersey. There you go. So, one thing I wanted to show everybody, John, can you do me a favor? I got my son producing tonight, everybody. Isn't he doing a great job? John, can you pull up the poll that I put on the channel? And I'm going to show everybody. So if you get my community post, okay, so there it is. So poll time. I did. Do you think 2023 will be a good year to buy a house? 74% of you said nope. Going to sit this one and wait till 24. Isn't that something? And that was 78 votes. Yeah. Isn't that interesting, Greg?
Wow.
But do you see what's happening? People are freaking out.
Yeah, which I get it. It makes sense. It's just the data wouldn't support it.
I know.
That's all. It just wouldn't support it. Because again, going back to 2000 to 2006 where prices doubled, rates were 7%.
Yeah.
Like they were, it's not like rates were 2% back then.
Right. Right. Well, I think it's because people are still in sticker shock right now.
Yeah.
Between you got your higher rates and the high prices, I think that's what's making people sit on the sidelines. But the longer you wait, it's not going to get any. It's not going to come down. It's not going to get any better.
I mean, I don't know about anyone out there or you on it, Jackie. I was going to buy another investment property 2 years ago, and I didn't do it. And I'm thinking I should have done it. Why didn't I do it? I should have purchased the property. It was in Freehold, New Jersey, and now the property's probably went up 32% in value. It just doesn't a good move.
Yeah, that's that's I know. But I always try to tell myself, it wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to be. But there's something better out there. So,
I mean, I just assume I would have lost the bid anyway. So
yeah, right.
Makes me feel better.
Oh, I wouldn't have gotten it anyway. It's okay. It's fine. All right, John. Thank you for bringing that up. What else we got, John? I think I see somebody else just chimed in. Premier Marketing, welcome back. Good to see you. 2024 ain't going to be the year either with everyone waiting on the sidelines. Like Jackie says, if inventory is not going to improve, we're all doomed. I don't want to say we're all doomed, but maybe we are. I don't know. I feel bad. I just feel bad for everybody out there that needs to get a home. And I don't know what else can you do? Like you said, can the governments provide incentives to encourage more homes to be built? I mean, here in New Jersey, it's a bit of a challenge. There's not much land available, at least up here in North Jersey. But around the country there could be, I don't know. It's a tough one. John, we got a couple more. Nick. Oh, no, wait, we'll do Fallen Angel Rules. Hi, thanks for being here. Is there any indication to when new inventory will come into the market in South Orange, Maplewood, Millburn area? I wish we had a crystal ball. Tracy, you're familiar with that area. I don't know. I mean, look, spring market, we are now getting into the throes of spring market, and the inventory is coming up a little bit. But when you have homeowners that have an interest rate under 4%, They're not going to give that up. So that's the big challenge we're having here with these higher interest rates. It's hard for them to sell and then move on unless they have a ton of equity. And I've said this to Greg before. You can put more money down on the next place and then borrow less. And then, you can have the higher interest rate and hopefully it won't kill you that much. But I don't know. I don't know. So Nick is back. Hi, Nick. What's going on? So we think in lack of experience or education and potential buyers or economic fear factors. Very good comment. I don't know. I think it's a little bit of both. What do you think, Greg?
I couldn't agree with you more. I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it stems for education,
Yep.
just understanding everything.
Yes.
And then being able to make an educated decision from there. I mean, when you look at to the point of Premier Marketing, it's hard. I mean, there's not a lot of inventory coming on the market. Fallen Angels, it's just not going to, and we don't know if that's going to change anytime soon. I mean, you cannot keep up with the demand right now. And unfortunately, we just came out of a 10-year run with the lowest amount of new construction since the 1960s. And it's going to take a decade to get the inventory levels back up again.
Yeah.
But it also speaks to why anyone who's sitting on the sidelines waiting for prices to adjust, well, that's not happening because there's no inventory.
Yep.
Right? You're not going to see that.
I know. I don't know. I wish, I just got the text. We have a snow day tomorrow. Sorry.
Really? My wife and I were talking about it. We want a snow day.
We haven't had one yet. I'm all excited. I'm like, yay, this is great. Yay. Oh, my daughter's going to be so happy. Sorry. Let me see what else we got here. Premier Marketing. Okay. I was going to see home in Ridgewood. It was Saturday and Sunday open house, and they canceled the Sunday because they got multiple offers on Saturday. Welcome to Ridgewood. That's what happens in Ridgewood. And I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry you missed out on that one. All right. Tracy, what else you got? If folks are sitting on a home they've owned for years, they sit on it. You're right. If you got a rate of 3%, they're going to sit on it. And what I've heard is they won't sell it at all. If they have to move, they'll rent the darn thing out. They won't even sell it. So, all right. What else we got? Stephanie IG. Hello, Stephanie. Thanks for being here. Hi from Bedminster. Hello. My fiance and I are millennials and we love your channel. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. We currently own our condo and are looking to sell and buy a single family. Should we buy or wait until later in 2023? Well, that's the question of the night. If you find what you want that checks the boxes and you are in that position, you're ready to go, do it. But my concern is for you, like you own your condo. It's all about the timing, right? So if you need to sell your condo and take the proceeds to buy the next place, that's where things get tricky. So if you don't have to sell the condo in order to buy, then all the better for you. So if you haven't talked to a lender yet, this guy, Greg, right here, he's really good. Talk to Greg. He could definitely help you out. If you're, listen, you got to look at all your options. And if you can hang on to that condo and buy the next place, all the better. And if you want to rent it out, you can hang on to it, rent that out, get some income on that, or you can turn around and sell it. So market is slim with options currently. Yes, they are. And so what I tell people, Stephanie, also, if you're like, you want a certain town, you want a specific town, you're going to have to broaden your horizons a little bit. You're going to have to expand the search. You may be surprised. You may find other towns that you weren't aware of that really had great amenities and schools and communities and whatnot. So broaden your horizons if you're, expand it, because that's what I'm telling people these days. Like you're going to have to do it. You can't just settle on a certain town. All right. Are sellers willing to cover closing costs, take price reductions in this high interest rate atmosphere? I have not had anybody offer to cover closing costs. That does not happen, especially when you're in multiple offer situations. The cleanest and highest and best terms wins. So if you walk in, no contingencies, no sale contingency, you limit your inspection contingency to just structure environmental, you're putting a decent amount of money down and the price is right, that's who's winning. And the sellers aren't doing anything. I did see back in the fall, I did see a seller offering to pay for I think it was a 2-1 buy down to the buyer, so because that's when interest rates had just shot up. But I haven't seen it since. I have not seen that offered. So, yeah. So Tracy said it too. Sellers are not willing to cover closing costs. Not in my hood. Not in my hood either. I mean, you don't see it either, Greg, right? I mean,
No, it really it's just so market specific. I mean,
yeah,
there are different grants out there that are available. Like New Jersey State's got a great grant where they'll give you $15,000 towards purchasing a home.
and that's for first-time buyers, right?
First time home buyer.
Right.
Like all the rules right now are geared towards first time home buyers. So
Right.
FHA just changed their rule with what they charge for PMI for mortgage insurance, and they cut it by about 35%. So it's a big difference, the cost factor on that.
Right.
When you look at conventional mortgages, the new programs that have rolled out, they're all geared towards first-time home buyers and getting a lower interest rate as a first-time home buyer.
Okay.
$15,000 grants. There's a lot of stuff out there right now for first-time home buyers.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good to know. That is really good to know. Oh, you're so welcome, Stephanie. It's my pleasure. Thank you for watching. Oh my God, that means a lot to me. John, what else do we got? You still there, John? Thank you. Premier Marketing again. Yeah, I started with Ridgewood. They said go broad. I said okay to Bergen County. Now they say maybe you should just look in Central New Jersey.
Come on down to Homedale.
Go down, yeah. Go down to Greg's neck of the woods. Yeah. Yeah. Listen, Central New Jersey's great too. I know Bergen's tough right now. There's like nothing for sale up here. It's so frustrating. It's like the past 3 years, this time of year, we just sit around my office and it's just quiet. We're like, all right, what are we doing? There's no houses to see. But yeah, but so anybody's watching tonight, I think if you want to get in the game, you want to get into a house, just stay the course. Stay the course, because if the right house comes along, you can do it. You can jump on it. And I know you don't want to overpay, and you don't have to. If you're not comfortable with it, don't do it. You know, this is what I was telling my client last night. She's like, I don't want to overpay. I'm like, I don't want you to overpay. You got to go with what you're comfortable with. But this is what the market is dictating right now. So how far are you going to go over asking? I mean, that's up to you. Only you can make that decision. And we can look at comps till the cows come home. Doesn't matter anymore, because people are going to throw whatever money at it and to get the house. I mean, am I wrong, Greg? I mean, that's.
Yeah, no, they're going to do whatever they take to get it. I just keep coming back. If you're renting right now, you have to throw your hat in the ring. You just do.
Yeah.
The math supports it. Appreciation of value, reduction in principal. You're talking, like we went through the math earlier, you're talking $400,000 worth of money over a 10-year time frame, where that rent's only going to continue to go up.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we answered the question tonight. I think people should still consider buying, as long as everything is, the planets align and everything is right for that particular buyer, and just do it. Because I just think it's going to get worse from there as far as the prices are concerned. So
I think you made a great point with it, Jackie. If interest rates come back down with limited inventory, prices are going to go up.
They're going to go right back up again. Exactly. Yep. So, I don't want to scare people, but you know how I am. I'm going to tell you how it is. That's the reality of it. So I forgot to do this last week. John, can we bring up our new segment? Greg, you don't know about my new segment.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Okay. There we are. What were they thinking? This is when we showcase bad MLS photos. I used to do this on TikTok, and I had such a freaking great time doing it. All right, Johnny, let's bring up picture number 1. These are real pictures from the internet. This is a nursery. Do you see this, Greg?
I do. I mean, I don't know what to say. My son loved it. I was there with a paintbrush.
Sorry, no offense, but that horse lamp there on that shelf and the zebra, good God, that would scare the crap out of me, that poor kid. So yeah, I would sorry, Greg.
I love the elephant.
I know, isn't it great?
So great.
How does that kid wake up to that every day? I mean, seriously.
I'd be terrified.
Yeah, I think they watched a little bit too much of that movie. What was it, The Greatest Showman or whatever that is?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
a little too much there. So, all right, Johnny, what else we got? Okay, this is my favorite one. I swear to God, this is on the internet. This is on the internet. Yes. So
what's wrong with that? That's not
what's
creepy.
wrong with that? A mattress wrapped in plastic and a creepy doll. And yeah, I'd be all over that. Like, I'm just sign me up. Who do I write the check to? Because I'm buying that like right now. So all right, Johnny, what's next? Oh yeah. This is like an Italian, no offense to the Italians out there, but like this is Italian gaudy. Like, what the hell happened here?
I mean, that bust is fantastic.
Right?
It's fantastic.
Like, just the staging here.
Right at me.
Right. The staging is just on par here. Oh dear God. Yeah. Like when I walk into houses and I see stuff like this, I'm so bad. I'm like, oh Jesus, you could think, look at all that wallpaper and the matching drapes. Really? No. Okay. So what do we got? Tracy, I'm gonna be sick. Yes.
It wasn't cheap either to do that.
No.
The matching drapes, they invested in that.
That's a lot of I know, but no offense. Anyway, Johnny, what's next? Okay. So this house obviously comes with parking, like indoor parking. No garage. We're gonna park it right in the family room. Who the hell does this stuff? Like for real? But this is on the internet. This is somebody selling out.
I'm gonna eat my dinner in the car.
Yeah, right. Or watch a movie like you have to drive in, right? Is that what they're going for here? I don't know. I really don't know. John, is that it? Do we have any others? That was it. Okay, so that was my photos for the week. All right, we had a couple more comments on here. Let me Premier Marketing again. Hello. We were competing for a house in Glen Rock. An investor bought it for $650, and now he is renting it for $4,300. After taxes, he barely gets 5% return. I don't get the idea behind it. CDs pay 5% now. I don't either, but he thought he was gonna. I don't know.
I mean, if I could just chime in on that.
Oh, please do.
The other thing that you have to consider on the investment property is what are the tax benefits that you're receiving. Also, if the tenant's paying the $4,300 a month, that $4,300 a month isn't all interest. A percentage of that, a good percentage of that, is going towards principal every month. So you're getting the return on your initial investment.
That's true.
You're getting the tax benefit, and you have a tenant reducing the principal that you owe every month by $2,500.
Thank you, Greg. That makes sense. Yep. So there you go. I hope that answered your question. Okay. What else we got? Fallen Angels. What is considered a decent percentage down based on what you're seeing? 20%. That's what I hate to say that. And I've had people like in the past year or so do less than 20% and they still got the house. But when you're in this situation that we're in now, sellers want to see 20%. It's just how it is. I mean, you're seeing that too. I mean, Greg, the people you're working with, they're pretty much, that's what they're putting down.
20%. I mean, it depends on the area. We do see 10% sometimes.
Okay.
Hey, and just another thing, I wanted to come back to that investment question.
Yes.
Because the other thing I would say on that 5% return that you're receiving on the CD, you have to pay your taxes on that income at the end of the year.
That's right.
On the investment property, you're not paying taxes on the equity that you're gaining in that property. And when you sell it, you're going to put it into what's called a 1031 exchange. You're not going to pay the taxes on it, and you're going to put it into another property. So the tax shelter that you receive from investment properties it can be tremendous if you play your hand the right way.
Yep. Yep. That's true.
I gotta stop.
No, this is good. No, this is great stuff. This is why I have you here. This is good stuff because the only thing that 1031 is my husband and I were talking about that because we have a property in Delaware that we rent out. And then if we wanted to sell that, we have to take that and you only have like, isn't it like 40, you have 45 or 60 days to identify the property on a 1031 exchange? Or you have,
Yep. Yeah, the short period. I forget the exact number. I think it's 60.
it's 60 days to identify, or do you have to be under contract?
Identify.
Identify, and then you go through. Okay. All right. See, I'm learning this stuff.
It's a really cool tax shelter, though.
It is. It really is. But then what happens at the end? So when so you roll that into the next property and then you move on to, but the other thing too, you have to buy something bigger from what you had, right? So you're kind of trading up and it's got to be a higher price.
And it's got to be like kind. So if it's an investment property, it has to be an investment property. Like you can't take the money tax free and put it into a primary residence.
Right. Got you. Okay. Yep. All right. So let's see. Premier marketing game. Thank. This is great stuff. See, Greg, every time you come on, it's just, we have all these good questions.
No, it's you, not me.
No, it's not. So tax. Yeah, sure. The tax helps a lot. I just didn't think that investors wanted to deal with tenants for that little money. No, there's all those benefits to it. Like Greg said,
It's a good point, though. I mean, being a landlord's not right for everybody.
No.
I could tell you some stories in my personal life that just make you go, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah. I'm sure. I've been very lucky with our tenants. I mean, we've only been landlords for 2 years now, and our tenants have been amazing. I cannot complain about them at all. They pay on time.
Right.
Anytime there's an issue, they let me know immediately. And of course, I then in turn address the issue immediately. I mean, they're just really, really good people. If they ever move out, I don't know what I would do. Like, 'cause I don't know if I'm going to get any better than that. Let's see here. Nick, that's also suggesting the new owner isn't earning appreciation.
Good point too. You figure you're going to get 4 points. Statistically, you'll get 4.5% increase on that investment property in value year over year.
That's right. Yep. Which you can't dismiss. That's so true, Nick. Appreciate that. Yep. Yeah, true. Nick, inventories suggest prices will keep going up. That is true. That is true. So guys, if you're thinking of buying, like this is what the fourth time I'm saying this, I would definitely jump on it. And I'm not saying this because I'm an agent. I'm a real estate agent. I don't sell houses. I help people get the houses. So I'm like Greg too. We're here to educate people and teach them, like, this is what you're supposed to do. And if you're not comfortable with making the move, no one's ever going to pressure you to do. I know I would never do it. I know there's some agents out there that might, try to push. And I've heard it. I've heard it from clients that I picked up who worked with other agents who were like, they felt pressured and whatever. But no, you go with what you're comfortable with, but you listen to the experts, listen to people like myself and Greg who are going to guide you through that. So that's the most important thing. Unless the Fed will crush us higher and longer. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what they do.
Let's see. Who knows? Do you feel like I do, Greg? You wake up every morning, you're like, what's today going to bring? Is this going to be,
Yeah, every day. It's like just so volatile.
Every day. I don't know what to expect. And, my friends, I was just out to lunch today with a friend of mine. I hadn't seen her in a few years. She's like, my God, how's the market? Is it really, are you busy? I'm like, yes and no. I mean, I just wish there were more flipping houses to buy, Right. Joseph, hey, how are you? Thanks for being here. Rent at $1,200 in Maple Shade, New Jersey, 15 minutes from Philly but looking to expand for having children seems almost impossible. At least for the moment, just seems like a huge jump. Yeah, I get that. But if you stay in that area, like that part of Jersey, I think is pretty affordable. That borders Pennsylvania. But you know what? You got to talk to a lender, Joseph, and you got to see what exactly you can afford, and just go from there. So thanks for setting realistic expectations. You're so welcome. That's what we're here for. Right, Greg?
Yeah, definitely. And Joseph, I mean, that's a great rental payment, 1,200 a month.
That's great.
Yeah, I mean, that's low.
It's very low. So if because I know the homes down in that part of Jersey are pretty reasonable. Like that's probably one of the most affordable areas.
It definitely is. I mean, you could still get into a house there 250-ish.
Easily.
Even less depending on exactly where it's located.
Yeah. But Joseph, if you are a first time buyer, look into these grants that Greg was mentioning before. There's a lot, Jersey offers a lot of good programs. Tracy, we agents are busy trying to be busy. I spend $150 in gas per week taking buyers around. Yeah. So I feel your pain, Tracy. The same way. Same way. It's fun. But anyway, I think we're approaching an hour, Greg. Oh my God.
I mean, the time flies.
It does fly. Oh my God. So listen, I want to give you a shout out again to your podcast, and I apologize. I don't have. Hey, John, do me a favor. Can you go on YouTube and pull up Greg's channel? It's called Your Mortgage Process, please. And
See,
then if anybody wants to contact me and you're interested in you want to talk to me about me possibly representing you, or if you need a referral to a real estate agent in another area, another part of Jersey, or in another part in this country, you can reach out to me. My website now has a form, so if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you fill out your information and I will get notified. I will get back to you within 24 hours and we can have a conversation and we'll discuss your needs, what you're looking for, and then we go from there. So be sure to check that out. Johnny, did you find it?
hey, and Joseph, if you have any questions about the grants, I'm pretty familiar with them. You can feel free to reach out to me.
Yes, please
At
reach
least point
out
you in the
to
right
Greg
direction.
for sure. I'm going to put Greg's information again at the end of this video and the description box down below. So if anybody wants to talk to Greg, please do. The man knows what he's talking about. Really smart guy. So
I mean, it's all I bring to the table, Jackie. I can't hang a picture at my house. There's nothing else.
oh my God, that's right. All right. So here's Greg's channel. So feel free to check out his channel. He also has a podcast, goes by the same name. The podcast is outstanding. So if you don't have time, like you can't watch, obviously you can't watch a video in your car, you're driving in your car, listen to Greg's podcast. Really good stuff. And he talks to different people every week. You might hear somebody on there, me. I did a podcast with him a few weeks back. It was so much flipping fun. I had such a great time. But he has wonderful information. So I highly recommend it. You got to check it out. So, all right. I think we're good. If I don't see any other questions out here, Greg, you were an amazing guest as always.
I appreciate you having me on the show, and I appreciate everyone taking the time.
Yeah, no, really. I appreciate everyone being here as well. And I think, Greg, we got to make this a monthly thing. We got to do these check-ins and see where we're at and see what's
perfect,
what we can tell everybody. So,
sounds
all right,
great.
Cool. All right, everybody, you have a wonderful week. Enjoy the snow tomorrow. Finally, Jersey's getting snow. Well, at least we are. I don't know about you, Greg. We're getting it up here.
I hope so. I want to. You know what it is? If the kids have a snow day, I gain like a half an hour of sleep.
Isn't it great?
It's so
yeah,
fantastic.
I'm excited because like I don't have to get up. I don't have to do like, oh, good. I can work from home. I can be in my sweats. I don't have to worry about leaving the house. Love that. So, all right. Thank you, everybody, for being here, and we'll see you next week. Have a great week, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.